Hey YouTubers, I have here a Kalashnikov from Arsenal. It is their new SLR-101S. It's actually distributed by K-Var. It is the standard 7.62 by 39 Soviet. It came with this here. This is a 5-round magazine. Now on their website it says it ships with a 10-round, but for some reason they sent me a 5-round. Not sure why. And this rifle here is excellent. Nicest AR I have ever fired. My one gripe is that it really should come with a full-size 30-round magazine. If they want to toss a 5-round in there for places, if you want to use it for hunting or whatever, that's fine, but it's got to ship with a 30-round. I mean, come on now. It's an AK. So this slides in just like that. That's how it looks with the 5-round magazine. It also came with a oiler bottle. It has the Arsenal emblem on there. A sling. The sling attaches here and then has a little clip here. Came with a K-Var catalog, and I got some nice offerings in there, and a owner's manual. And it came with a pretty cool little cleaning kit. Little thing here. This here you could use as a muzzle protecting device for when you clean it. Slip it over the muzzle. It's packed in here pretty tight. Has a little screwdriver and sight wrench, bore cleaner. I believe this is a Jag, if I remember correctly. And for, not sure exactly, I think this is for takedown pins or something of that matter. And then it all fits back in here. Now, I am fairly new to the AK. I don't have a lot of experience with it. I had an AK before, a couple years ago. It was a Yugoslavian built one, and it was the grenade launcher version, and that thing sucked. It was basically a single shot AK. It jammed every round. It wouldn't cycle, and I know it was a gas issue, and I tried to get it resolved and didn't work, so I sold it. Another guy knew more about AKs than I did, so he took it and hopefully he got it running good. So this one here is Bulgarian, and on the Arsenal website it says that it's been over a decade since they have imported this particular rifle from Bulgaria. So the specs on it: hot hammer forged in milled receiver, bolt carrier and trigger. Cold hammer forged in chrome lined barrel. And on the website they say it's been made with over 100 years of workmanship and experience. So I guess apparently the factory in which these are made, they've been making rifles for quite some time. Now, doing a little bit of research on the Kalashnikov, I did find out that Bulgaria is one of the higher quality Kalashnikovs on the market. They produced Kalashnikovs for the Soviet Union, for the military. The Soviet military was so big they couldn't produce all of them. The Soviets could, so they farmed it out to some of their satellite countries, and Bulgaria was one of their #1 quality producers of their satellite countries. The muzzle on it's got a pretty cool muzzle brake. It's got 14mm threads. There's a bayonet lug, cleaning rod. As you can see, it has the polymer furniture. Has an intermediate length buttstock. Has the scope rail right here. The overall length is 36.5 inches. Barrel length is 16 1/4 inches. And it has a 1 in 240 millimeter twist. The weight without magazine is 8 pounds. Muzzle velocity is 710 meters per second. Effective range 400 meters. Maximum range 1350 meters. And it's a semi-auto, but they list the rate of fire as 40 rounds a minute as their practical rate of fire. So you could shoot faster, but that's what they call their practical rate. The MSRP is $1,019. And as I said, this is the nicest AK that I have put my hands on, and it fires really nice. It functions really nice. It's got a nice trigger on it. Show clear. Trigger's actually got a really nice pull on it. When I was at the range the other day, I was extremely impressed with how nice the trigger was. And one thing you'll notice here, it has the 5.45 caliber barrel tube connection, which the original 7.62 barrel, the gas port or whatever it's called, it was at more of an angle, and this 90-degree one is actually taken from the 5.45 caliber AK. So I guess they figured that one was more effective or something like that. So a lot of the new manufacturer Kalashnikovs are coming with that. One of the neat little features of this rifle that they built into it is a storage tube in the stock, and it's actually spring-loaded. So you take the cleaning kit, stick it in here, and push, the trapdoor shuts, and then when you want to use it, you push the trapdoor and it pops out. Kind of cool. Kind of James Bondish. Another little detail I like about this is this cover that they put on the charging handle. I think is pretty cool. It's more comfortable than the original, and it's excellent if you have gloves on. It's easier to hit when you're cocking it, and if you don't like it, you can simply take it off. I was actually pretty impressed at the range in how accurate it was. I got a really good group, and you hear a lot about how the Kalashnikov is not very accurate, but I think that kind of needs to be taken with a grain of salt. Of course, it's not as accurate as a AR, and it's not as accurate as a lot of other rifles on the market, but you got to remember the purpose of this rifle. And for the purpose of this rifle, I think it's actually a lot more accurate than people give it credit for. And I think some of the bad press as far as the inaccuracy of it is more so the users. And I think people look at, in dating back to the Vietnam era and now in Iraq and Afghanistan, you look at, a lot of times it is used on full auto and it's spray and pray, and they do miss a lot. And a lot of those people also have not been through the formal marksmanship training that we give in our country, especially in the Marine Corps, and I know the Army trains very well too. Those other countries don't do that. So a lot of the inaccuracy of this rifle, I think, is due to the user and not necessarily the rifle. That's my opinion on it. I was extremely impressed with the quality of this AK. I think it is built really nicely. And I know, for a lot of people, especially those of us that have been around for a few decades, we kind of look at the price tag on this, the MSRP, and we think, wow, $1,000 for a Kalashnikov. And you might initially get a little bit of sticker shock, but I can tell you this is not just a standard Kalashnikov. This is an upgraded version. It's got things like this nice safety right here. This is a lot smoother than a standard Kalashnikov safety. Little details built into this Kalashnikov. The Kalashnikov is nowhere near modular like the AR, but they've done their best to make everything that they can upgrade on this the best it can be, like the muzzle device at the end. Little things like that. So I would highly recommend this rifle if you're in the market for a Kalashnikov. And yes, it is a little bit more, but it is a high quality one, and it will last you for decades and decades, and it will outlive you. So I wouldn't hesitate for a minute to spend $1,000 on this Kalashnikov.